despite the weather. For somebody who lived and worked in Russia for 8 years, this is nothing. This is like a spring rain. Maybe the weather doesn't affect me that much, but maybe for you. It's just nice to be back to university. Before I became American diplomat, I was lecturing in university in George Washington University in Washington. So every time I come back to university, I say, what am I doing? I should go back to university and teach again. Because I really miss my students, and I'm just always in touch with the younger people. It's very nice. Thank you very much, Professor Farivar, for the introduction, and dear Cyrus, we were student in yesterday. It's a really great pleasure for me to speak on the occasion of the inauguration of this Transatlantik Talks lecture series. The aim of this lecture series is to initiate dialogue on internationally important issues here in Hamburg. With the Cyrus Farivar, we have an excellent speaker for our first lecture tonight. In his new book, Internet of Elsewhere, Cyrus explores the history of the Internet and its effect on different countries. Cyberspace has not only revolutionized the way we live and work, but it has also become central to the functioning of our democracies. And I just learned also, to my great pleasant surprise, the book actually dedicates a chapter to South Korea, where I grew up. And I always knew that 2 elections ago in South Korea, Internet played a major role. And someone sort of unknown person, relatively unknown politician, became the president because of the Internet. So you can see what it does for the political landscape all over the world. We use the Internet to freely express our opinions. At the same time, the Internet has become a crucial source of information. While the Internet is global, I think this is a very important point. While the Internet is global, the respect for freedom of speech is not. That's the whole point. The Internet, the medium is global, but the freedom of speech is not. Undemocratic countries feel threatened by the possibilities for free speech and its dissemination provided by the Internet. The tension between free Internet and despotic governments has most recently apparent during what we now call the Arab Spring, when Ben Ali, Mubarak, and Gaddafi sought to suppress the democratic opposition in their countries. The opposition forces in Tunisia, in Egypt, and Libya made effective use of the Internet to mobilize against these dictators. And as you know, in Syria, the struggle still goes on as we speak today. But let us not forget the Green Revolution in Iran. Thousands demonstrated in June 2009, we remember that very well, to express their desire for freedom and democracy. In the case of Iran, as well as the other cases I just mentioned, the Internet played a crucial role. It allowed the critics of the regime to get their word out and to mobilize like-minded people. Censorship and control of the Internet are essential components of the Iranian regime's attempts to silence its opposition. I'm really curious what Cyrus will tell us about these efforts tonight. I'm particularly interested in the question whether you believe that effective control of the Internet by a government is really possible. Many regimes are trying, and if you can answer that, in Iran and North Korea as well, because I'm a keen interest in North Korea. If Before we explore this and other questions, let me just say a few words about the importance of a transatlantic dialogue. In Germany and Europe, people have anxiously followed President Obama's recent speech on the importance of the Pacific Rim to the United States. Now, the dramatic economic growth in Asia, in China, and the rise of China in particular, pose important challenges to U.S. foreign policy in the 21st century. That's clear. Some would even argue, including my ambassador, Ambassador Murphy, would argue that the Pacific Rim should have been recognized a lot sooner. It was always there, it was important, but somehow the focus was more on the Atlantic Rim. And we should also recognize the fact that the Pacific Rim could cooperate with the Atlantic Rim in a constructive manner. However, this does not mean the importance of the transatlantic relationship declines. The contrary is the case. I can just give you an example this week what happened. Monday and Tuesday, Secretary Clinton was in Germany. Tuesday and Wednesday, Secretary Geithner was in Germany. And I was just told the President and Chancellor Merkel, they talk all the time. I was told that they spoke yesterday again. So who could say that transatlantic partnership is declining? Our relationship with Germany is not only based on interest, but also on common values and mutual trust that we have continuously built over the past decades. The United States needs strong partners to tackle the challenges of the 21st century. We see Germany as one of our most important allies on the road ahead. Dialogue between Germany and the United States will be the key to the future of our partnership. I'm very happy that Transatlantic Talks lecture series will contribute to this dialogue. Like any other good program, tonight's lecture would not be possible without great partners. I would like to thank Professor Burkhardt, where are you? The Director of the International Media Center Hamburg, and his staff for their enthusiastic support for the Transatlantic Talks. I could not have wished for a better partner. The International Media Center Hamburg combines excellent journalism training with engagement with pressing international problems. I'm already looking forward to the lectures that we're planning for 2012, and I hope to see many of you there as well. I would also like to thank Mr. Icke and the Hamburg Abendblatt for the support of the Transatlantic lectures. Finally, I'd like to thank Cyrus for coming to Hamburg tonight. We have a better weather sometimes.
I did have some too.
Yeah, plus I think Christmas time in northern Germany is really magical. So with all the lights. I'm very looking forward to this talk about the Iranian government and the internet. Thank you very much.